The Flash Season 2, Episode 22, Invincible. Now, I definitely gotta say, crazy freaking ending to this episode. I'm I was surprised by it, but I feel like it's not too big of a shock because it's like, oh, Henry's finally coming back into the show. Honestly, I made this joke with my girlfriend. I was like, yeah, he's gonna be in the show because they can afford to pay him now. That's honestly why I thought they would have him in the show. And then he dies, and I was like, huh. Whole time it's like he took off. He comes back. They have the moment where Barry's like, you weren't here long enough, to even really know exactly what's going on and stuff like that because he took off. And all these little things. I was like, all right, it's great. Like, just the simple fact that Henry was going to be in the show was exciting to me because it's like Barry has his dad. It's just, heck, it's just a new character that has a very interesting sort of view on everything that's going on in the series because it's his son as the hero going up against all these crazy supervillains. And the son that he never got to really experience in his own lifetime because of, him being framed or people believing that he killed his own wife. So just the idea of him being in the show, I was really excited. I was like, it's going to be cool. Staying in the show, he's going to be in the next season as well. And, they're having even having the dinner scene, like, he's staying here, everybody's here. We all know Barry's the Flash except for Wally. All this other stuff, which is still really funny. And Zoom shows up and grabs his dad, and Barry just takes off after him. I don't know if I don't think he's wearing the ring, but he apparently stopped somewhere along the way because he took the time to put on his outfit for whatever reason, even though he didn't put the thing on. Which I just thought that was really weird. I was like, he wasn't in the costume, and they haven't done a scene where he's wearing the ring or anything like that. So, don't understand that. But they go back to his house, and they have some, like, there's gotta be, I would love for there to be something he can do, but I figured there wasn't. And he's like, they have the little conversation where it's like, I wanted you to come here so that we could talk, so you can understand how we're very similar and stuff like that. I saw my mother die in front of my eyes while you got whisked away. And it's like, I guess you were too delicate, I suppose. And he tries to have this conversation about how they're the same person, or at least very similar to be the same person. And he's like, you know what? You don't understand the drive that I have. You need to see why I have this drive to be the fastest there has ever been. And he just kills Henry Allen in front of his own son. And it was just a crazy ending that really surprised me. I was very shocked that it happened. I couldn't have possibly cared less that Wally finally figured out that Barry was the Flash. I mean, I was just mad. I was like, I just wanted him to figure it out himself. It was like with Patty. I was like, they're not idiots. They should just, they even have a character, the scientist. They bring her in, which is another thing. They kind of made it seem like Henry and her might have a little relationship or something. So they bring her in. And Barry saves her. It's like, thanks, Mr. Allen. It's like, I'm not an idiot. I'm like, nobody is in this show, seemingly. But Wally can't effing figure out this dude is the Flash. And it's just like, okay, I guess he has to see it to understand it. So we finally have that, which I'm sure will come up in the next episode with Wally talking, most likely with Joe, because he never ends up really talking with anybody else. So he'll probably be talking to Joe like, why didn't you tell me? I hope they don't make him into a dick in the finale, because in this episode it was kind of the same as the other. I understood where he was coming from. I thought he was being an idiot. He was being stupid, like going up against all these metahumans. But I didn't hate him for that. I thought it was stupid because it's so dangerous. But because he feels he owes so much back to, like, the world for him being such a crappy person, which we've seen a lot, I understood it. I was like, I don't hate him for this. I think it's dumb because he could easily get himself killed. But I was like, I don't think he's being a douche right now. I just think he's stuck in feeling like he needs to repay his own life, like right now, by giving his own life. So I was like, I actually enjoy that. I'm fine with it. I think it's a bad choice for him as a character, but it's not him just flat out being a dick. It's like he feels really messed up mentally. Like, I have to pay back a lot of the crappy stuff I did. I ignored my dying mother, and I, stole cars from people and stuff like that through street races, which he shouldn't have blamed himself for that. I was like, they knew what was happening. But he blamed himself for a lot of things that he did. And I was like, I understand why, he felt the need to really go out there. But I'm hoping that there's going to be some stupid argument in the finale between him and Joe, where he's mad that Joe didn't tell him or something like that, or literally anyone else that he knew in his life didn't tell him that Barry was the Flash, because everybody knew except for him. So I'm hoping he doesn't just get like super mad at everybody and stuff like that, because that would kind of annoy me. Because I think he's had, like I said, dumb decisions, very dumb decisions, but his anger was in the right place in this episode. And in the last one, when he had the actual speech where he's like, the reason I feel like such a drastic need to talk to the Flash is because I feel like I need to thank him for giving me a chance at life. So because it started off, and I mentioned that before, it was like he was kind of douchey, but then we got the actual speech between him and Joe, and he's like, I just got to see him because I need to thank him for giving me the opportunity to be way better than I've ever been. So I was like, all right, I like that. Hope they don't change that. I really do hope that that doesn't just revert back to the first 4 episodes he was in and stuff like that. So I hope that doesn't happen in the finale. It'll be a very sore spot for the finale, and I hope he's just excited or something. I mean, heck, they didn't give him the opportunity to just figure out that Wally was the Flash, even though he totally should have, because there's just a million different things, just the simple superhero thing. He's gone, you showed up. I wish my girlfriend pointed out they did one of those, and it was probably the most conspicuous one ever, with the captain when Barry took off as the Flash, and then he came right around the corner like, oh, I heard my name. That was pretty funny. That probably was the most conspicuous time he ever did that. Outside of the house thing, when he went up, he was upstairs for like 30 minutes and was just gone. Outside of that, it probably was the most conspicuous time he ever like took off as the Flash and then came in just as Barry Allen. But they didn't give Wally the opportunity to just figure it out. So I do hope whenever they give him his powers as a speedster that it's from the comic books and he just recreates the experiment. And it's like, that would be nice. At least he did something like that, and it was just his own human genius and his brain cells just figuring something out, because they couldn't tell this one guy who everyone knows is the Flash. I don't know why they didn't just tell him. It's like no one ever figures it out. And I don't know if I said this in my Arrow review or something, but recently I was like, nobody ever figures out anyone's a superhero in these 2 shows unless they're just flat out told. Like, no one seems to figure it out. But we had the scientists who figured it out in this one, which I thought was good, which I think made it even funnier because no one ever does figure it out. And she's the first person just like, well, I'm not an idiot. And it was like, it makes everyone else seem like it because they've been around him 100 million times and no one seems to figure it out unless he's like, I'm Barry Allen. So, I don't know. Hopefully that works out. I always end up doing a rant whenever he just can't figure it out. But hopefully he doesn't end up being a douche in the next episode, because that would really suck. But other than that, I think this is a fun episode. They kind of skipped over probably the coolest thing that everyone would have wanted to see, which is crazy metahuman war. It was like 2 minutes long. Barry came in and saved everybody. It's like, whew, man, we normally do it 1 at a time, not 100 at a time. It's like, he's just beating everybody and we don't get to see anything cool. So I was like, whatever. That annoyed me, like just the tiniest bit. And I'm pretty sure that had a bunch of references to a lot of other characters, because I'm pretty sure that was supposed to be like Hawkman and Hawkgirl during the opening scene, and a bunch of other people with other random powers that I probably just don't know from the comics. But I thought it was cool. We got to see some of the powers, at least like the tiniest bit. But I was like, man, that sucks that it's at the very opening. I thought for sure that would be like maybe a cool little middle action scene, and the cliffhanger, it's still the episode leading up to the finale, so it still would have been great if it was the crazy action thing and then the insane cliffhanger ending. But it's like, no, we got the little action scene, tiny bit there. And the whole other big thing is the fact that we have Earth 2, Black Canary, who's actually going by Black Siren. So, a little different. They might not go the route that I thought they were going to with her character, because in the comic books, at some point, I don't know when this happens, but at some point, Earth 2 Black Canary starts to live on Earth 1, and I thought maybe that's how they would do that, and somehow she would turn good. And I think I mentioned that in my last review as well, but I thought that might be how they went with it, but she had a totally different name. They could still easily change it where she comes back as Black Canary and she, lives on Earth 1. But we'll see if that's how they decide to go with that route, which I think I would love to see that happen, not only because the actress would be back, but it would be really cool. She'd officially have her powers. It wouldn't be the same person technically, but it would still be cool to see how that would play out. But ultimately, I think I enjoyed the episode. They're just the little things, you know, the Wally thing shouldn't bug me, but it's just him, like them showing how smart he really is, or like the crazy turbine engine crap he did. That's what bugs me the most, with him not being able to figure out such a simple thing. And then dialogue with like Iris when they thought Barry died, she said like Barry's gone and stuff like that. All this just little stuff that they did that seemed like this should have just played out as he realized Barry's the Flash, but he just never did. So I'm excited to see where they take it for sure. Um, you know, what they did with Caitlin I thought was interesting in this episode, where she's like completely destroyed now. Like she's, you know, she was in love with like the supervillain. He kidnapped her. It's like she's freaking out and seeing him at random and stuff. We have Cisco, who we find out is actually having visions of Earth 2 being destroyed, which I'm assuming that's what the giant turbine thing is in the promo for the finale. Maybe they're not on Earth 1, it's actually Earth 2, and they're running in circles or doing the big race thing or whatever to actually save Earth 2. But something crazy going on there. Earth 2 is just falling apart, a bunch of birds flying in the windows and stuff. So something crazy is going on there, which I assume will be a big part of the finale, unless that's going to be like, you know, season 3 or something, which I think would be interesting as well. But I'm excited for the finale for sure. Very sad ending. It sucks that that happened, but of course I want to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts. And of course, I swear, I said this in another review I did, everybody's been dying. Like, past month, like 8 characters have died in a bunch of the shows I watch. It's been insane past couple months. Past 2 months, I think. Just everybody's dying. Like, 2 people die here, 1 person dies there, 3 people die in one of the shows I watch is like dead, next episode dead, normal episode, 4th episode somebody else died. Just a bunch of people have been dying lately. It's insane. But of course I have to ask, with us losing Henry Allen, how do you guys think that's going to play out in the finale? Like, what is that going to do for Barry Allen? Will he become a bit darker? Will it make him faster? I don't think it would actually make him faster. Just be like, I have to run faster for my dad. But I mean, the Speed Force gave him its own little speed talk, and you know, he got his powers back. So who knows? I mean, the whole episode he was walking on sunshine, so it might be like, hello darkness my old friend type stuff in the next episode. But definitely want to know your feelings on us losing Henry Allen, and of course what you guys want to see or even expect for the finale. Do you guys think the Earth 2 destruction thing is going to actually be in the finale? Because that seemingly that kind of came out of nowhere, so I feel like that might not be even remotely involved in the finale. That might actually be some season 3 stuff, and whatever they do in the finale might lead to how Earth 2 ends up being destroyed, or almost destroyed unless they stop it. So I don't know. I feel like that's not going to actually be in the finale, because it just seems so random, because obviously Zoom is doing his own thing on Earth 1, trying to take over and kill everybody. So I don't think that his thing is going to be like, poof, suddenly I'm destroying all of Earth 2, or at least Central City. I mean, I couldn't tell in the vision, but Cisco said it was like splitting down the middle and stuff to the poles and everything. I think that was just an exaggeration, because it was like, oh, the city's falling apart, because the building behind him, people were totally fine. They were just running, and then in front of him, everything was falling. So I'm assuming it was just some sort of machine or something. I doubt they'll pull an arrow and do like an earthquake type of machine or something, but I don't think that's going to actually be in the finale. Could be wrong. I've been wrong about a couple of things lately, mostly people just dying all over the place. So I don't really know. It's hard to guess. This is way simpler than people dying. But definitely want to know how you guys feel about you know, Barry's dad actually being killed off. What you guys expect for the finale, or what you even want to see for the finale. And of course, what you guys thought about this episode. So please comment below, let me know. And thanks for watching.